It is Sunday, July 28th, 2019, and welcome to another Brooklyn Baritone podcast. Hey everybody, thank you for joining me again. If it's your second time, third time, fourth time, whatever time it's your first time, thank you for taking your time out to coming to check me out. I very much appreciate it. Okay. Are you an agent of change? Do you like change? How often do you like to change things? Some people like to change their furniture every year. Some people like to repaint things to make the place look fresh, look different. Many people like to change their car. A lot of people like to change their spouse on a regular basis. Many people like to change things at work. Of course, a lot of people want to change things in the political world of, who's in office and certain things that happen in local government and so much things and processes and systems that they feel need changing or improving. A lot of those things happen to be your personal opinion, but then at the same time, you look to see that things aren't the way they need to be and should be. Something got to change up. How many of you are willing to actually put your best foot forward and make the proper changes if you possibly can when the opportunity arises? A lot of people don't like to. A lot of people don't like to rock the boat. Usually, they don't want to step on toes. They don't want to agitate certain people, or they're comfortable where they are, basically. And you have to be uncomfortable. As one of my past podcasts, you have to be comfortable being uncomfortable. So you learn to switch things up, at least have it in your mind to know that you see something is wrong, something needs to be improved, something got to give. I need to change something. Get up and move myself, get up and move things around here, change something about myself, because many people don't have that humility and the actual understanding of themselves to say, maybe I need to switch up what I need to do. I need to change. Some people just like to be a disruptor just for the negative reasons. And people who do bring about change is a disruptor. It depends on what kind of disruptor you are. You have to be always positive, moving forward, not just for your benefit, for everyone else's benefit too. See how I'm going through my notes as usual. Be a disruptor, not just for the sake of being one, but disrupt the cultures, the systems and mindsets that need to change for proper growth in a positive individual and communal direction. You have to be someone that's uncomfortable enough. And most people, they know when things are wrong. Most people know when things got to change up. It's just the fact that you're not motivated to do it, or you're comfortable, or you just don't want to, like I said before, rock the boat. You need to get more active, better for your blood pressure, for your heart, for your circulation, get your muscle mass back up, to get your fat down. You got to get up and start being more active. You're going to have to start changing the way you eat, not just the way you eat and what you eat as well. Be a little bit more focused, more organized. The proper things, nothing's going to improve if we don't go forward and change things, if we don't have the mindset first. You have to first identify what's going on. One of the things of solving any kind of issue, or to at least initiate the change, you have to, one, identify that there's a problem, there's an issue, there's something that needs to be changed, or something that's wrong, something that's off, something that can be improved, or someone that can be improved or changed. The second thing is coming up with a proper plan. You have to come up with ideas. Think of something that's effective, different ways of finding the avenues to get to where you need to go to implement the change. And then 3, actually implement that plan. So it's really 3 steps. It's simple. It's simple. I ain't gonna say it's easy to do it. Because step 1, to identify as a problem, a lot of people can't even get to that part, can't even get past that part. They don't want to because they're ignorant, or they are part of the actual problem. A good saying, I don't know who started it, if you're not part of the solution, then you're part of the problem, which is very true. Even though if you're not the one who caused the problem, even though if you're not the one who's perpetuating the problem, in a sense you are by being inactive in making things better. As for your household, everyone could always go for improving their household, their communities, their neighborhoods. A lot of times you see trash all over the place. A lot of times there are neighbors who may need a little help or whatever for certain things. And there are people who need to be agents of change in the places they work and so many other areas in life what we are engaged in every day. Now, one of the easiest and one of the most destructive things to do is to complain or pass false judgment without actually being active in being committed to changing anything. Say that one more time. The easiest and one of the most destructive things to do is to complain about something or someone or pass false judgment. I mean, you have the surface level statistics or the surface level story and you made up your mind on how you're going to view that person or thing or entity without actually being active in being committed to changing anything. Basically, you're a peanut gallery. Peanut gallery, a lot of people heard that term. I had to look it up long time ago. Basically, the peanut gallery is just the kids on the side of the studio where that show, the cowboy puppet Howdy Doody. This is way before my time, but the term stuck. And it's a funny term, too. Even though people don't know who Howdy or what Howdy Doody was, they know the peanut gallery because the peanut gallery, the term has been used and applied for decades and decades after the show has been long gone from many people's memories. Anyways, if you just complain about stuff, you're peanut gallery official member, peanut gallery agent, peanut gallery president, peanut gallery manager, everything to do with the peanut gallery. If you're just talking about stuff, it's okay to have a gripe about something. It means you identify as the problem. Cool, but what's your active plan to actually change that? Many people feel it's not their place to change it. And that's the furthest thing from the truth. Because if you feel we have a problem, and especially if that problem is affecting other people, affecting finances, affecting the systems and policies of, this country, of your local government, your household, your job, your career, place of work, of organization, you do always have an effect. Everyone has an effect. Everyone has an impact where they are, whether you feel it's a small one or not. Everyone affects everything and everyone around them. We have to always get that through our heads. We have an attitude, negative attitude, that emanates from us. That energy resonates from us and it impacts other people around us. We do good things. We're a good person, positive something. We resonate that and it affects everyone around us. Whether we feel we're wrapped up in our heads and our minds and our worlds, we got our own worries or not, we are agents of change even when we don't. Let me repeat that. Let me rephrase that. We are agents of change or agents of being stagnant, whether we realize it or not. By being active or inactive, we always affect everything and everyone around us. We need to get out this selfish mindset to feel that we don't affect anyone. We don't owe anyone anything. We owe everyone everything we have. Yeah, we have to worry about our bills and make sure our things are in order properly, make sure our things are secure. We don't secure finances. This is how society is set up. Yes, you got to make sure you are as much in order as possible or keep going forward to do that. But in the meantime, you still have money you can give. You have kind words you could give, actions you could give, your time and resources that you can give to other people to help change things. You have to be active. One thing to complain, even though complaining isn't really good. It's not. I covered that before too. Murmuring, it brings a lot of bad vibes. It causes a whole lot of, bad habits to form, and then some people get used to it, and you probably draw other people in with you as well. You don't want that because all it does is just make more negative energy. It does, and it's tiring and it's draining. But if you are going to complain, put your best foot forward to actually change. Think about what needs to be done and go forward. You may not be able to change the whole show, but wherever you fit in, you try and make that change. If it's only individually, people will know, oh, I know what that person's about. Same thing about conviction. You have conviction. All these things that I talk about has their own specific focus parameters, but they all tie into each other. Everything that we hear from motivational speakers, inspirational speakers, people who are world-renowned for talking, for speaking, they all stem from the same thing. We don't realize that all these things are from the Creator. They're in us. They're in everybody. We just have to activate it. And you may be the person to initiate that change, that spark in someone else or other people for them to get up. In the meantime, many people are just waiting for someone else to do it. And you could be that one to do it. Okay? So again, back to the peanut gallery people. Don't be peanut gallery member, please. Don't just complain, because all you're doing is resonating more negative energy and drawing everything down. Do what you can do to change things, you know? What you need to do is, it's okay to see what's wrong in the world, but you have to do more than just complain and sit back. You can't just go off of word of mouth or what everyone else says and settle with that. You can't just go with your own opinion. You can't just go with what this media tells you. I'm thinking about, there's a comment not too long ago about someone, of course on Facebook, posting something about Tupac speaking about the churches and how the churches put more of their money together, all that money they're getting, and actually house people and help people and everything. This world will be way better. And then, so another comment on the side, peanut gallery member, saying, yeah, Pac had a house that he had just for, people to stay and crash at. You don't hear no church doing that. I said, you know what? You can't look at the mega churches of the pastors that have Learjets at their disposal and acres of land with a multi-million-dollar mansion. And, you can't look at them because that's what media puts out there. That's all everyone looks at. The unfortunate part is the same eyes that seeing that one only image of what a church is supposed to be, and the same mouths that are putting forward that information. These are the same sets of eyes and mouths that are not going out to their own communities and actually seeing what other churches are. For every one mega church that is just flinging money all over the place and flaunting wealth, there's at least 100 churches in their immediate vicinity that are actually serving the community. They have many food pantries, especially here in New York City, Brooklyn. You see many churches holding food pantries. Yes, they do. Some churches do get a level of federal funding, but it's not millions of dollars. And a lot of them do offer financial aid and help for people, not just your members. It probably depends on what church, but many churches give aid. You need it. I'm behind on my rent, or my mortgage, my light bill, my loan. I got to do something before I'm out in the streets, before my lights get cut off, before something major happens. There are plenty of churches that offer that type of help, but people don't know about that unless you are actually out there being an agent of change to help other people and see what's going on in the community, other than what so-and-so is telling you or social media telling you on your phone, or even what you're seeing on TV, or what Craig and them is saying on the corner. You have to go out there. You see there's a problem with, churches not doing enough, giving enough, because you're not looking enough. That's the truth about it. Many churches provide services for people who need homes. A lot of churches run shelters. People don't know that unless you actually were in a shelter or worked with a church. But many people walk on with their lives not thinking anything of it. Walk past a lot of homeless people in the street. They're not doing anything to help them. Okay? A lot of these churches have soup kitchens. Because the thing is, churches will only get but so much money. Yeah, collectively, they get tithes and offerings and stuff, but there's many things to maintain the church and then maintain the services they provide for the community. So there are churches that just take and basically funnels it to only certain individuals. There's many more churches out there that give and do. So if you are so upset about what the churches are not doing, so how about you take your time and your money and your resources and you go out there and be an agent of change to help people, because you know there's people that needs help. You go out there and show the churches how to do it if you don't feel they're doing a good enough job. If not, then don't complain. But the thing is, everyone needs to pitch in to be an agent of change, to help everyone, like I said, to go forward in a positive direction for proper growth individually and communally. Yes, you have to make sure you got yourself in order as much as possible, but at the same time, you help out others when you can. Even if it's outside your circle or comfort zone, you got to do it. You know, don't wait for someone else to do it or complain if you feel someone else ain't doing it. Then you do it. You do it. You either say, I need to build myself up individually, work on this skill set, work on certain things, this talent, this ability that I have, or in the meantime, let me give a helping hand when I can. Right? That's what an agent of change is. You look past your own comfort zone. You look past the regular habit of complaining like everyone else. You got to be about it, man. Don't talk about it. Be about it. The unfortunate part is, I don't do it as much as I should. I don't want to give myself a pat on the back because I went to a couple of soup kitchens and helped out. This is something that we all should be doing all the time on the regular, because the fact of the matter is we have so much homeless people out here in this country, in the world, and that shouldn't be. There are more than enough resources out there for everyone, because everyone's so caught up and drawn in themselves. They figure it's the next person's problem or that person's problem. It's their fault they're in the street. It's their fault that they're in debt. It's their fault that they're struggling to make it in life. It's their fault this, their fault that, and just worry about me. I'm doing okay, or either I'm struggling myself, or I'm doing okay myself, so I ain't worried about no one else. This is why we're in this state. This is why we're in the state we are right now in the world. So when people don't care, it's more self-absorbed, don't want to be an agent of change, don't want to rock the boat, they're too comfortable when they feel it's someone else's problem. That's basically what it is right there. Okay, going back on track. I'm going to statistics. So it's a couple of statistics. I usually did that a while back. In the workplace, 70% of employees aren't working at their full potential, and 52% are just sleepwalking through their day. That's because everyone is pretty much going with the regular rigmarole, the regular status quo. No one's really, again, 70% of people aren't working to their full potential. That's a lot of wasted potential. Not to say that so many people won't actually move up in the company and do more, or switch positions, or even switch careers, or even organizations. It's a tragedy to witness every day. Again, just about every motivational speaker, inspirational speaker, teacher, pastor, whatever, they know that this is the problem, because we're not really taught to grow ourselves properly. We're not taught, again, to really change things. This is the system. This is what you do. Just go to work, pay your bills, have a vacation in between, and then retire. Nothing about really pursuing yourself, knowing yourself properly, to understand how you should move, to understand to have empathy and sympathy, to really understand that maybe the status quo isn't the best for everyone there. It might work to a degree, but at the same time, it limits people. You have to realize and be able to stand up. Listen, man, you have to be willing to say, hey, even if they may fire me, I need to make a change. I don't want to leave this place worse. I don't want to leave this place worse when I came here than when I'm ready to go. At least make some kind of difference or impact, or at least, if anything, if you couldn't change any kind of system or process or policy, at least leave a very good impact on people that you've worked with. Because many people are too timid and they're too frightened and fearful about losing their job or being seen in a negative light because they don't want to rock the boat. So therefore, No one wants to be an agent of change. Therefore, we have statistics here. 70% of employees aren't working to their full potential, and 52% are just sleepwalking through the day because no one wants to change anything. I'm getting a paycheck. I don't want to rock the boat. I don't want to lose this paycheck. I don't want to be looked at in a negative manner like a troublemaker. So you got to be a troublemaker sometimes, man. You have to be a troublemaker sometimes, a disruptor, because things need to be disrupted. Again, not for the sake of just making noise, because there are people out there who just love to make ruckus for the hell of it, and they don't even care about anyone else, and they just want to see drama. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about people who need to be a disruptor, to see that something got to change. Let me come in every day and see what I can do. At least, if anything, whatever I can impact. And if I can help impact other people in other areas, let me do that. By the way, the source of that is www.inc.com. And this is around 2017 this statistic was taken. Now, this other one, I covered this already with the problem with sexuality. 23% of children in America live in a single-parent home. This is about 3 million children. The source of this is www.census.gov. That's census.gov. Not saying that people can't make it, in the most dire of situations. But you have to remember, children need so much when they're growing up. And there really shouldn't be anyone out there being raised with one parent or primarily one parent. And this goes back to reflect on the decisions the parents made, whether they were too quick to get involved with someone else and then actually procreate, and then realizing after that fact, like, oh, I'm not compatible with you, or I fell out of love with you, or I don't want to deal with this. These are things that you have to get ironed out beforehand. Yeah, I'm not judging anyone. I'm not judging anyone whatsoever, because my daughter does not live with me primarily. She goes back and forth between her mother and me. So I'm in that mix too. I have the mindset to pass this along so people realize this. Just because it's the normal thing that happens doesn't mean it's the right thing to happen, because this is very detrimental in so many people's upbringings. Places where there shouldn't be any hurt, where there shouldn't be any insecurities, places where there shouldn't be any deficiencies, there are, because they didn't have that wholesome upbringing in the crucial, critical parts of their lives to grow with love, with security, where they don't have to be stretched between two places or lacking from one parent that's not there. So this is something that we definitely have to change. This is another prime example of things that you need to be an agent of change. Whether you're already in a situation that looks like, let me at least, if I'm going to have any more children, let me make sure I am stable enough and my partner is stable enough and we know what we need to do. And then we stay together and married and make sure our children going forward have a proper foundation. Or at least, if anything, pass along to anyone else before they have children. Life is not what everyone makes it out to look like. Again, you have to be an agent of change, because so many people are doing it, we normalize it. We don't want to rock the boat. Well, so-and-so got that situation going on, so it kind of worked for them. No. Like I covered before in that, the issues with sexual, what did I call it? Sexuality. There's so much things that people could have been more of had they had a much more stronger and solid foundation. And just because children live with two parents doesn't necessarily mean that they're in the best environment, because a parent could be there, but they could be checked out, or they could be abusive. But if you have two parents who are committed to each other's growth, and make sure they grow individually, they will most definitely be a stronger impact for that child to be more of what they could be in life, to fulfill their potential even more. this definitely has to change, because this, of course, is going to impact people in society with what they feel and deem is acceptable, with how they react to certain things in life, how good they project or traject in life. These things affect people. We take it very lightly, too lightly. We have to be an agent of change. You know, we got to stop running after the booty, man. That's one of the things that's terrible about being open to sexual experiences, is that once it's open, it's open. You know, you're not going to really have proper restraints. That's why we have so much people out there having children that's nowhere near ready for it. You know, got to change that up. I'm like, because, you know, dude, you got to do better. Yeah, I know, especially in the summer. You see it. It's all over the place, especially in New York City. Everywhere else, you see it. The women, they present it. Got to get past that mindset, man. You know, get your, you got to get your stacks up. You got to get your mind definitely right. Now, I'm not just talking about just going out there getting money. Spiritually, I'm like, you know, are you going to raise someone properly? Are you going to raise someone to be better than you? You know, are you going to raise someone to, like, not make the mistakes definitely that you made? So many people do that. They have children, and it's the same cycle over and over and over and over again and again and again. They're not changing because they're comfortable. They're not changing. They don't want to change. Change is important. You got to change your clothes. Change your drawers every day. You don't do it, you're going to have a problem. You're going to have a problem. You know, and if you don't have a problem with it, people are going to have a problem with you. And that's a whole other set of problems. You got to change things, man. Things need to improve, then try your best to improve them. If you need to change things in your job, you know, one step at a time. You change things at home, where, you know, one step at a time, but you got to put forward that effort. You have to do it. And it helps when you do have help. It does. And many of us always want things to change. We get frustrated, and a lot of times we could be the ones frustrating other people too, because we're not changing in the same manner or the right pace or changing at all. So again, you have to look inwardly to see if you need to change. What you need to change about yourself, address it, identify it, and address it properly and accordingly. Then you could go forward, and it'll be easier for you to attack other things. Okay? It's a good thing to change. And that's it. That's all I got. I beat the change thing up a little bit, but you have to remember, man, always be an impact of wherever you at. Be an impact. Don't be disrespectful. Don't be disruptive just for the heck of it, but be an agent of change, and change whatever you can. And every day you learn something new. So that means every day something's changing about you, so you can change things. Okay? Anyways, this is Corey Ashley. Thank you for listening to another Brooklyn Baritone podcast. I will catch up with you next week. I appreciate the time. I appreciate the love. I appreciate the attention. Keep listening, keep listening, keep listening. And I'll keep putting out and putting out and putting out again. Be blessed, everyone. Walk good. Take care. Love you all.